Welcome to Mobick Explained, your gateway to the Mobick ecosystem. On February 17th, which happened to coincide with Chinese New Year, Mobick retired its old network and migrated to a brand new blockchain. In this video, I want to take a deep dive into why this decision was made, what the renewed tokenomics look like, and what benefits we are expecting to see. So, which of these three blockchain networks do you think will become the backbone of Web3? Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana? Bitcoin has proven itself as a store of value and the most trusted network out there. But not many people see it as a powerful smart contract platform. Solana, on the other hand, still isn't mature enough to attract legacy institutions, and plenty of people still vividly remember those network outages from a few years back. That leaves Ethereum as the major contender. Now, I'm not saying Ethereum is better than Bitcoin. It's true that many Ethereum nodes and validators rely on cloud services like AWS, which does create some centralization risk. That said, as Paul Brody once put it, it really seems like Ethereum has already won the smart contract war. When Mobick first launched, the founder expected that Bitcoin Layer 2 solutions would actively compete with Ethereum and give rise to meaningful tools and dApps. But the gap between the two ecosystems has only widened as developers have continued to pour into Ethereum rather than Bitcoin. Since Ethereum is likely to remain the go-to smart contract platform in the Web3 era, Mobick needs to evolve and carve out a presence within that ecosystem. To do that, Mobick is effectively splitting into two roles, a Bitcoin-based trusted asset and an Ethereum-based programmable DeFi currency. Following the Mainnet upgrade, Mobick's total supply is capped at 21 million, just like Bitcoin. Only holdings with a clear on-chain transaction history were migrated. Unclear balances, burned coins, and legacy Bitcoin blocks were left out. The good news is that these updates will be reflected on platforms like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko soon. At current prices, Mobick's market cap sits at around $5 billion, which is comparable to projects like Zcash or DAI. That could place Mobick among the top 20 altcoins by market cap. For a lot of people, it's a bit like an unknown actor suddenly landing a major role in a Broadway musical. In crypto, visibility matters a lot. Just imagine what happens when this plays out. If you are holding BNB in your wallet, you might want to hodl, because this yield-bearing asset could grow into something much bigger. With the upgrade, Mobick's tokenomics are now crystal clear. Out of 21 million total supply, around 16 million BNB have been allocated to public goods. Individual holders own 4 million, and half of that is locked, leaving a circulating supply of less than 2 million. Very few crypto projects have a circulating supply this small, which is honestly what makes BNB stand out. So what does the future look like for BNB on Ethereum? First, we need some new naming conventions, since the assets now live on Base, Ethereum's Layer 2 network. Wrapped BNB or WBMB is used for airdrops. By completing tasks, like attending crypto courses or joining future airdrop campaigns, you can earn WBMB. And you can convert between WBMB and BNB through the existing MOVL app. BNB's presence on Base goes even further than that. Because it shows up in wallets like MetaMask and Trust Wallet, users all over the world can easily get exposure to Mobick. For that to really take off, it will be essential for WBMB to be swappable with other Ethereum-based assets. On top of that, Mobick's yield-bearing DeFi model could catch the attention of some major players. We might even see big names adopt Mobick in their stablecoin infrastructure to pay out interest. I'll keep you posted on that as more details come in. Pretty interesting, right? You can find WBMB's contract address via the QR code on screen or in the video description. SBMB represents tokenized consoles, while LDT and PRR are testnet tokens. And the dollar-backed stable token called MOVL is also in the pipeline. Another upside of Mobick being on Base is that exchanges generally prefer ERC networks over Bitcoin for listing. With WBMB, getting listed should be a whole lot easier, and that means more visibility. The project team has made it clear that they are planning to list WBMB on centralized exchanges. This migration is called the New Bedford Upgrade, named after a historic port city just south of Boston. Back in the 19th century, New Bedford was the world's leading whaling port, supplying whale oil that lit lamps across the US and Europe. That history is also likely why Herman Melville set the opening scenes of Moby Dick there. Can Mobick become something bright enough to help light the world, just as New Bedford once did? Only time will tell, but I think we are headed in the right direction. Stay tuned and stay excited. Mobick Prov signing off.